Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Dre all day in the place to be. Keeping it real smooth with that music, right? This is another series, another episode in the Dasher series where we talk to different hyperdash players, which I call dashers, which I don't know if that's their name or whatever. Point is, that's what I call them, and that's what I'm going to say. Some interesting things have been happening lately in hyperdash. Some real interesting things. Teams have come and go. Players have come and gone. Other things have happened. And we'll get more into that. I could talk about it all day by myself, but let's talk to the man. He's your friend. He's definitely your friend, because as soon as I said he was going to be on this show, you guys flooded the channel with all kinds of questions. He's like, oh, we want to know so much about Maker. So he's your friend. He's my friend. Oh, my phone just fell. He's everybody's friend. We got Maker in the place to be. What's up, Maker?
What's going on, guys?
Is it Maker or Makers?
Makers, but, you know, you can call me Maker. That works, too.
Call you Make? Mac? No, I'm just kidding.
Mac.
Anyways.
Mac is one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See,
yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. Man, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here, dude. It's not easy getting people to come here on camera, especially after the meme shenanigans happen. I mean, the emojis.
Yeah, man. No worries. I'm glad to be on here, man. I appreciate you having me.
Now, are you worried about being an emoji by any chance?
I don't care. I don't have like kids, family, all that. It's my parents, you know. They're already ashamed, so it's all good. Anything that happens is good.
Now, this happened all of a sudden because Maker just kept calling me out time and time again. He kept saying, yo, Dre, you kept saying that. I was like, damn, I'm embarrassed. So right after the last time, I was like, that's it. Because every time you called me out, you were right, man. You're absolutely right. I kept postponing it.
Yeah, you were like, you know what? I'm gonna make you the first non-HH interview I do, and then it was like, bam, another one and another one. Excuses, headaches, high heels, all that stuff.
And he's right. I cannot deny that that's not facts. Those are facts, but the struggle is real. Issues going on, but that's not important. The important thing is I said, fine, Friday, even though I got a podcast to do, I'm going to get you in before that. We're going to knock this out. And as soon as I mentioned it, everybody flooded the channel with questions, man. What do you think about that?
No, it's good. I'm here to reveal. So, you know, I at least we have something to talk about instead of, you know, some of this other drama that's going on in the background.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Like, did you hear about Yellow's hack? I don't want to call it hacker group, but the data mining group?
Yep. They're doing that. I mean, did you hear the biggest thing that just happened a couple of hours ago?
And what is that? You drop it for them. Give it to them.
Fathead posted that elites are no more. They disbanded.
That's
they're done, calling it quits. He already is trying to pivot into a new team, fresh start. You know, it's a sad day. Obviously, we lost, you know, some of the 4D guys, and then we lost some, you know, they're all the pillars. So seeing them break up is like seeing some of the original people kind of go separate ways. But you know, they were a chill group, and some of those guys really wanted to compete hard. So I get it.
Now, are you saying that because you're part of the notorious TBDs, and you guys have basically made a slow march through every single team to the top to take that crown? Is that why you're saying that?
Nah, I'm not saying. I'm saying that because I know all the guys, and you know, when you see any of that kind of breakup, you know that's you know, even though everyone's friends and everything, you know, there's shit that got to get settled in the background. So I feel for what they got to do right now.
So let's go down the list. First, it started. Was it 4-2-D2 was the first one to drop?
Yeah, I think so.
And then,
Vader or 4?
No,
yeah,
Vader was still in it, and then Vader went out. They were the next one to go out, right? Before Vader dropped, I was hearing players were going to drop out individually, but then I don't know what's going on. Not with Vader specifically, but with other teams and other players. I'm not going to say who because I couldn't confirm second source. But yeah, now we see what happens. So maybe that is my second source reality. And then what else? Who dropped out after that? Then 4DV. Is 4DV still around?
Well, they changed names. They're still around. They're
now ARC.
Yeah, they're now ARC. They just shed like the 100 of people in the background that was, you know, the other stuff. They shed that, and they're just focusing on competing now. So they're still here. I'm glad they stuck together.
And then the leads too. So I found out from Maverick, he was looking for teams, and they were like, "Yo, I just gotta confirm with my cat." And what are you talking about? And then I kept scrolling up, and I see Maverick say like, "Yo, I went to bed and I woke up to a phone call or something that I'm no longer on a team. Does anybody have, you know, let me What happened? How did that decision come along, and the rest of the team finds out like this?
I mean, you know, it started off with they had all the heat. You know, everybody was like, "Oh man, the elites are the top of the mountain. It's the best players combined into this crazy team," and you know, they had a lot of that pressure.
Well, they set the precedence for how teams could be selected. Because if they didn't do that, I think it would have been less likely for people out of clan to join other people's teams. But because they set the precedence, that's what just became the norm.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a good thing where they had just a bunch of people. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and before the first match was played, they were like the undisputed, you know, the best talent kind of put together. I mean, there's talent all over the league, but, you know, they were like the all-star team. So they had all that pressure, but they also hang out and they're chill. And so when the league started up and things went from like friendly to competitive, you could see that, you know, there's some people that are willing to dedicate and then others that were still just wanting to chill. So at some point you got to separate who wants to just hang out and who wants to really grind and hit it hard. And sometimes that they don't both fit on the same team.
That's a good point. Because like even I would have considered myself a competitor before I went to side quests. I thought I was pretty good. But once it went to side quests and there was like a whole flood of players that know what they're doing, yeah, I'm no longer pretty good, but I still enjoy the game. But I no longer think I wouldn't consider myself a competitor. I couldn't be on a team. Maybe be a water boy.
I mean, it's tough. You got to keep it up. I mean, even I just haven't played in a couple of days. I just got out of a scrimmage with HHI, and I mean, they gave it to us. I mean, I felt like I was you know, fish out of water kind of thing. So it doesn't take very long to get rusty, you know, and these guys are getting better every single day, you know, so it is hard. It can slip by pretty quick. And
then when they start nerfing your weapons and you go back in, you're like, what happened here? There was a wall there. It's gone now. You just they're really they're handicapping me. Maybe they hear all these podcasts and they're just like, okay, so remove walls, no longer allows spawn. What is it called? Spawn shielding. I just found out that there's a thing called spawn shielding, which is what I like to do when I like to dip into the base, the middle spawn point and shoot people because they like to come up and hold down the spot.
You know, I do that in the spawns that are supposed to be active. That's fully legal. It's the midpoint ones, you know, like hiding in the ones that you're not supposed to be coming out of.
That's the ones I'm talking about specifically. I'm gonna be honest. But I found out I can't do it no more. That's fine. Hey, whatever. You know, they take away my bullets.
Actually, I mean, just the last few days, there's been a lot of debating in the captain's channel that not everyone could see. So, you know, people who are on teams got word of it. But
what is that debate?
A lot of that. Well, the debate's about how do we govern? Like, where do we draw the line? Where, you know, what is allowed, what's not allowed? Like what you just talked about, the midpoint spawn use. Everyone unanimously agreed we can't do that. Let's take it out of the league. So we self-govern that. There's other debates about, you know, how to hit the button, hold the button down while other teams come in, and you know, a lot of this kind of nuanced rule making that. You know, we got a lot of feedback and opinions to try to flesh it out a little bit.
And what came out of that debate with the button? Like, I understand because I didn't know this, but apparently you can hold down the button, and then if you're holding down the button, the other person can't press the button. So what was the debate about, and how did it come out?
So there's two camps. You know, one camp likes the good old days where you would rush up and there's a countdown of a button, and you rush, you stick your hand out, you hit the button, and counters, and then you're good to go. You know, some of the RDF guys, you know, Fearless Record, some of these guys, they think right outside the box. They're always finding ways to, you know, come up with some kind of edge, something new. And, you know, they showed off some techniques that of hiding behind the button column, of being able to put your hand, you know, on the button and hold it so if someone else touches it, they can't activate it. So that countdown where you usually suicide and hit the button, well, they can't hit it if you're holding the thing down, just like a real button in real life. So, you know, there's some people that don't like the ability to make that happen. You know, that they don't like that you can't just hit that button and keep that countdown countered and going, the game going. Other people, you know, think all that's okay. And then there's even another layer of it of adding shields. You know, when you got a shield and you're doing that and you add that makes it even harder. And then one more layer on top of it is you can stick your hand through the walls and through everything and the button. And if you stick your hand through the button in a certain way, it holds the button down too. So you've got a lot of layers in this argument of you know, what we should be regulating or what's allowed, what's not. And I think we all agree we would like the button to work perfectly. But but some of us don't want to make rules on top of what the devs designed, and try to make like slow-mo replays and judgment calls and forfeit, reversing match results and things like that.
So you're saying less government, right? Like just have fun. But my opinion on this, and me personally, I suck at the game, so who cares about what I say? But I think the holding down the button should be fine if you're holding down the button, like you said, like a normal button. But shields, come on, bro. And putting your hand through the column, that's cheating too, in my opinion. But I'm the guy that apparently mid-spawns shield, whatever that thing's called. I do that stuff.
I mean, a shield ain't easy to use. I mean, you don't see people in lobbies running around with shields just going, 100 to 10. I mean, a shield is a high skill item and it ain't easy. You're down a weapon and these weapons, you need 2 of them to really do some damage. So a shield is not an advantage. And then for a long time, anybody who stands around the button is like, that's suicide. You got to stay away, try to kill people, whatever. If you're standing next to the button, you're just sitting there vulnerable. So, being able to duck and use the button for cover is, to me, genius. And so that up the level right there. Allowing your hand to go through the column, honestly, on day one of learning the game, someone showed me how to. I'm sure we'll get into who showed me the game in the beginning, but they showed me, don't press the button straight down, pass your hand through it horizontally right below where the button activates, which is through the pillar. Yeah. So I mean, everyone kind of knew the buttons don't work that well, and you got to use other methods to make sure you hit the button and all that jazz. So it's just a gray area. How do you regulate that? How do you, if someone does that by accident, and then you got one guy on film, but you don't got the other side on film? I mean, how you make that fair? Who's going to do that? The time, is it worth it? I think it's worth it to be like, hey, devs, please fix this, which we have, and they have acknowledged it actually. Versus putting that burden on the league itself to try to figure this out, and the drama that can come out of it if you have to change a result.
Oh boy, the drama that came out of that, bro. I mean, that's what. And did you ever? I just laugh because some people are not prepared for that stuff. They're like, we're just playing a game.
Yeah,
but you gotta if you want to make this dope, you gotta take it serious, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got people who take it serious, and you got other people, not so serious. So you got a mixture of opinions and people who play differently,
Man, going back to the teams dropping, man, it's crazy how we just lost so many. The leads, bro, they're gone, man. That's my team.
Man.
That was my team. They're a bunch of renegades, mavericks, and anarchists, and not literally maverick. Well, I mean, I think it was anyways, but you know what I mean. They're gone, man.
I mean, it's not like they're disappearing or anything. They're going to be out there. That means there's a lot more talent picked up, and there's guys who are kind of chilling for now, but maybe they'll find the time and they want to compete later, and they'll jump right back in, and they got a seat wherever they want. So that's still an all,
Man, you guys made it scary out there on the Dash League. You guys are the notorious TBD, bro. You really are. You guys could literally put under your belt that you got rid of teams. You think it was you?
No, I think
not
it's
you specifically, but your team.
I think it's the culture shift of the league of going from, hey, let's all hang out at the course and play some ball together and make some team, into like, hey, there could be money at the end of this. There could be, a bigger league, or this could be more serious. And so you could see the shift from the very beginning to now. People just cranked it up as far as seriousness.
That is true. I'm gonna stay on this boat for as long as I can, but I know a lot of people are gonna go to the yacht pretty soon, and that is true. That makes sense. That a lot of people are probably saying, let's get more practice in, let's get more things in, let's get more. But I think this upcoming season is gonna be dope. It's gonna be fun, interesting, and I'm excited to get to it. What do you hope for the season?
I just hope for more and more teams to get involved. Really, we need more teams. Teams fall, people get busy. I look forward to kind of just getting all this stuff ironed out, the process. And seeing the new people come in and perform. I mean, we saw Onyx, just yesterday, where you got all kinds of new players just killing it against juggernauts. So it's like 1 month from now, who knows what the game looks like? Who knows who the new superstars are? So I'm excited to kind of just see how things go.
That is funny you say that, who the superstars are, the super dashers are, because in the past there's been these top 10 players, but in recent there's been, in my opinion, I won't mention any names at all, but there's been people that have wow, this team right here is legit, and it's because of the expansion of the game, and it's reaching so many more people and bringing them in. But yesterday Onyx did a great job on Gray. I mean, I thought it was amazing that they drawed UNSC, considering UNSC were champs before. You took the crown, and they did an amazing job. Classic Scout especially, dude. I couldn't believe the work he did on that map.
Yeah, man. No doubt. They're beasts. They're going to come together.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going through the same growing pains we all went through earlier. They're just doing it now,
exactly.
You know, and so, you know, I'm excited to see them when they mature a bit.
And we got a few in the making. Like, I know Supernova's coming out. I'm excited to see them perform. Who else we got coming up?
Well, Fat just announced his team. I think called it Vibe. You know, who knows if if that's official? I don't know. I just saw real quick before I jumped in here. So he's starting.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
And did you also hear that Discord and the internet was out for a while, like 10 minutes?
Oh man, right before our scrimmage, just before I jumped in here, we were going nuts over communication. We were trying Discord for the first time, and it was like, all right, let's communicate, mute everybody, which is not working. You know, everyone was kind of getting a little frustrated, and we had just abandoned it and then jumped into the scrimmage. And you know, when I got out is when I realized, you know, the whole world got shut down for a second there.
Yeah, 1/3 of the internet was shut down because apparently we're run by 3 freaking companies. Incredible, yeah, man. Incredible. I mean, we are truly effed. We are truly screwed, and we should just have fun doing it. And that's why we love this game, Hyperdash VR. Amazing. That shout outs to Triangle Factory for bringing this amazing game. Real quick, let's get to the basics, and then we'll get out of that so we get out the way. How'd you find out about Hyperdash VR?
I mean, honestly, VR in general, I had the first Oculus ever made, the DK1, and, you know, I played with that. Things were terrible. It sucked, you know. You couldn't really even play a game. It was almost just like, hey, look at VR. And then I shelved that forever, you know, and didn't even care. Heard about all these new headsets coming out, didn't even care. I was like, man, we're way off from anything playable. And then I started hearing the hype around Quest. Got the Quest during the COVID, you know, people going get toilet paper left and right. I was like in the electronics section out of the craziness, and then saw a Quest in the display case and was like, hey, is that real? And they're like, yeah, that's real. And then I like go on eBay and Google real quick because I was like, is this the thing everyone's talking about? And it was. And so I was like, all right, I just bought it randomly and actually didn't touch it for a little bit. Download Robo Recall and was like, oh, this is cool. But, you know, when I played back in the day, it was all online competitive stuff. And I was like, all right, let me find online stuff. It was like Pavlov, some other thing. And I saw Hyperdash, and it kind of looked Halo and looked like something quicker pace. And I was like, you know what, this feels like something that fits me better. And I haven't even played any other game. Literally, Robo Recall, Hyperdash. No Beat Stick, none of this other nonsense. Like, literally, those are the only things I've played in VR. I've been stuck since.
Yeah, and let me tell you, as somebody who has played other games and played other games before this, and I even bought a couple of games after this because they were on sale, but I haven't even touched them. This game is amazing. Like, it has everything in one game. You dash, you sprint, you shoot, you have camaraderie amongst other dashers. That's another thing what I like about this game is the community. I mean, some people might disagree with me, but I really enjoy this community. I like that. I've met so many cool people so far of all ages, of all walks of life, of all cultures and races, and it's amazing, man. I love it.
No, for sure. I mean, actually, before I played 1 second of Hyperdash, you know, you have to go on Discord to get it. And so went on Discord, you know, I was like, hey, is there a way I can just like get in a practice or a lot? And then a bunch of people, it was like, I think it was 6, 7, 8, Elite, Chem, Fathead, you know, people were like, hey man, yeah, just logging in. Everyone's helpful. Everyone's nice. I was like, yeah, I don't want to play with other people. I literally have not played a game in a long time, you know, like period. This is my first true experience. And so there is no practice. It is jump in lobby.
Yeah.
My first, you know, I know one of these questions is touching on this stuff, but my first lobby was, I remember Fathead for sure. He showed me dashing. He showed me that button technique of swinging your arm through it, and he showed me quite a bit of stuff. I remember 6, 7, 8. I remember seeing Chem. I remember seeing all these guys. You know, this is Alpha 4 before Side Quest, and I came in at the end of that. And so I was kind of like the last week of Alpha 4, right before the insanity of all these new people coming in, and everyone else was solid. And so I got lucky to have that like tight knit community feel out my first game, and then after that I was like, man, this is you know the place to be. So I just kept playing and got better pretty quick, and then you know all the newbies hit, and I felt like a superstar, just John Wicking everybody, even though I'm still a rookie, you know.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. All that confidence building until you actually get in the real deal match and you get your ass kicked. Yeah. So I went through all that.
That part I don't know what you mean. But no, exactly. Like, yeah, when the newbies hit, I felt proud every time they called me a cheater. Like, he's cheating. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. But you guys don't know I suck. But that was a fun time. And yeah, getting back in the old days when it was like, I think I want to say Alpha 2 or 3, whatever it was, when there was like that weird map control point and 32 bullets in the SMG. I'm going to be that old man talking about 32 bullets in the SMG. I remember the day I came in and it was like, what is it, 28, and I was sad. I just cried a little bit. I think I cried in my anyways. That's gonna get sad. But that's dope, man. Yeah. It's amazing to know that you've only been in that long and you're already amazing. And yeah, as soon as I got in, I loved the game. It was hard to get into it because of the practice, but I really liked the mechanics and the grinding and on the rails and all that stuff. It was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And then I would always see El Chapo, and I would see, and then I would always, whenever I see El Chapo, I'd be like, El Chapo! And then one day I looked on Discord because I just wanted to interview a dasher to see, like, you know, I love this game so much. I got to interview a dasher. And then I realized he sent me a message because I never used Discord before this. This is the only reason why I use Discord. So, and then he told me, hey, you want to be in my crew? He didn't know I sucked. So I said, yeah, real quick. And then once I got in, he realized, and he's like, oh, I can't kick you out.
I mean, actually, I got to get a shout out to Chapo too. He was one of the first people I met, and you know, he's just one of the nicest guys in the community. You know, to have people in an internet game come up to you and be like, "Hey, man, you know, you're not bad. Hey, learn this, and here's a tip." And I was used to, you know, back in the day where the worst things come out of your mouth in those games. You know, toxicity was being invented in video games, and you know, those are the things I grew up in. So
good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, so to see this kind of community was just like a 180. Like to me, didn't seem possible. So stuck around, and luckily, that's the majority of the community is like that. It ain't just the few guys I mentioned. It's like the high percentage of the community. So
Gatsby, Fathead, Chapo, everybody, Maverick, Jackson. I mean, Jax even sent me some the Frankenstein adapters. He hooked me up, and with some other stuff, he hooked me up with with some sauce dipping device that he created with a 3D printer. I mean, it's amazing the people that I've met, like even Garbage Man, like I'm talking, and you and everybody. I like Sage and everybody. It's amazing, man. Yellow, it's cool. Even this Dasher series, I love meeting everybody. Let's get through these 2 questions real quick because I always ask them everybody, and then we're gonna get to the questions because I don't want to keep you up from your scrim. What maps would you like to see? What's your favorite map, and what map would you like to see?
I mean, I tend to like blue the most, just because it's like wide open, big. There's tons of areas to play around in. You got all the weapons available. You know, you can pick up shots.
My man.
You can pick out any of these kind of, you know, different things. If you want to have fun, you can have fun.
Yeah.
You know, so blue to me is a personal favorite.
And what's your thoughts on yellow?
I mean, yellow is you know, I like yellow because it's a team.
This interview's over.
It requires like real communication and team momentum, and it's one of those really fast paced. It's a unique map, So I like yellow. Much more than gray.
All right. And what would you like to see? What map would you like to see? Like, what would be your map? Like, for example, me, I want to see a 50-foot tower where you just like you could dash out of the window and dash back in, or run upstairs, or I don't know, something weird like that. What would you like to see?
I mean, I would like to see a map that takes more advantage of the uniqueness of hyperdash, you know, like the rails and then the dashing and using like vertical space and you know, also we're in VR, so it's like we can do things that, you know, maybe other games couldn't, you know, think about before. And so yeah, I would definitely like to see more outside the box, less of the like let's recreate a map that we've all known from previous games, like that old style. It's more of like think like new, you know, different. It may not work, you know, but hey, we're all new here and we're going to try it out and tell you it sucks or not. And, you know, I'd rather have like the new stuff out there. But you were talking about Control Point. I think they're bringing that back. There's rumors that they're bringing that back. We may see that in just a few weeks here. Also, these hackers, you know, you're talking about the hacking group. They found some other information too. You know, who knows? The devs got all kinds of stuff working. They're not telling us. So, you know, we'll see.
Makers, I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me more about this group and what they found.
there's a bunch of shadow people that trying to hide. They're trying to hide their identities now. In the beginning, like, hey, everybody, join our group, and then all of a sudden it's like, screw, like that's going off. They're going into the shadow. People worried about them ruining the game and stuff. Nah, they're harmless. They it started off wanting. Actually, it's your fault. It started off with Yellow. Yeah, remember when Yellow was like showing that app of like using like anime people and like so I could hide my identity, and you were asking questions.
Wait! I'm not gonna be blamed for boomerangs. End this.
So it started with you, and so Yellow was like, yeah, if we had hyperdash robots, it would be cool, and then so he hacked the game. that's your fault.
Breaking news: Dre broke the internet, and Dre broke hyperdash.
That's right, man.
Hey, man, don't make me feel guilty about it. So yeah. If you guys don't know, Yellow Labs has found some interesting things. I don't know what I can and can't report on. I'm gonna keep it at that. But yeah, they found some interesting new maps, let's say, and maybe interesting new game modes. I don't know, but the devs said it's cool, but I don't know if they want me talking about it. So I'm just gonna keep it. But if you want to talk about it, continue, makers.
For me, it's the devs say it's cool, but it also could be the devs can't do nothing about it at this point. So that's the only thing they can say.
I love you, devs, and let's move on. All right. So, anyways, that's dope about how you. So, what map do you like? Would you like to see besides what you said? You said I like you want to see a new one. What would it be? Like islands? Would it be like
I fall in the water too damn much. I don't know if I like what, but I do like the skill needed to hop rails and to do things like that. I don't know. I haven't really thought about if I were to make a level, what it would look like. I never really thought about that. I really like payload because it's like an objective type stuff. So I think a new objective that like has a team oriented thing that, not just like go out there and grind for half an hour like Gray, where you're just killing and getting tired, over and over trying to hit a button that doesn't really press properly, So I would rather if there was like some cool objective, new objective game, whatever that would be. I don't know.
You hear that, devs? Don't buy your buttons from China, man. Buy it from somewhere else. Quality, bro, over quantity. Let's talk about weapons. What's your favorite weapon and what would you like to see? And then we're going to get to these questions.
Weapons, I've played with so much. Like, pistols are always the go-to. You can't not use the pistols, But as far as them being my favorite, my favorite's got to be shocks at this point. It's almost 2 weeks straight of just like heavy shocks. Even in teal, I'll pick up shocks if I can't, And that's not a map where shocks really shine. You got to use your pistols good in teal, but I don't care. I'll go and pick them up, blow up bodies, and have fun. See people just flying around and. And suicide hit, myself, like all that stuff. I get a blast out of it. So shocks are probably my favorite. But a pistol is where all the game is at anyway. So
I don't want to be blamed for boomerangs. So get that out of the play. We'll get that out of the way. Also, I'm not eating dogs. I'm just saying, if you told me dogs taste like bacon, I would. So stop sending me DMs. I don't want to hear about the boomerang. I don't want to hear about the dogs. But what I am saying is maybe a grenade. A grenade would be nice, or a vest. Like maybe I can have a bomb vest that I can just run into a spot and die. Like I'm just saying, like make me useful for my team because there's no way I'm going to compete in this team.
That's funny, Dre. A suicide vest. Yeah, I don't see that. I didn't want to call it a
suicide vest, but I'm saying some sort of device where I wear and I blow up. But I didn't want to call it that. But what were you saying?
Hey, the shock pistols are that. You run around, you charge them up, and you just blow up, and hopefully you take someone out with you. That's the built-in vest.
That's my new technique. I might be on the team soon. All right, let's get to these questions because we got so many. First up, I don't know if I should share the name of the submitted it, so I'm just going to say the question. Why does your team crush souls of men and boys?
Hey, the opposition isn't what's in our mind. It's the, play at the highest level we can. We've got extremely competitive people on the team, so it's not like me cracking a whip or like 1v or specific people. It's that everybody's trying to be killers. Everyone's trying to win and get better, and everyone's trying to find like the most optimal strategy, the newest thing that no one's ever done, the counter to the thing we just came up with. So we got so many geniuses, good minds, smart people, competitive people, intense people. It's I mean, that's the only reason why I think we're really competitive. It's not like one person sitting there blowing a horn. It's there's everybody just grinding and doing all kinds of stuff. So I think that's why.
Would you say you're the Apple of Dash League?
Apple of Dash? No.
Oh.
Are you talking about like iPhone Apple?
Yeah. Because you guys are innovative, but also you guys come correct, and you guys are always on point.
I've never owned an Apple anything.
Hey,
so
me neither, man. I'm Android, and I'm cheap. I can afford it. Moving on. So I don't know if this was a question for you or me, but they said, did Lat get interviewed yet? Did Lat get interviewed yet?
Did Lat get interviewed yet? No, I don't think so. I think he's been too busy driving cross country and hopping jobs and doing all and running the league and his team just dissolved. Like, I mean, the poor guy, man. I don't know. He didn't got time to give an interview right now. He's got all these pieces to catch.
That is a good point. Like, your team just dissolved. Like, how as a commissioner do you come back from that? Like, Lat, what happened, man? We gotta get you on here. We gotta talk about that, man. He might be broken up.
Nah, he's a strong dude, man. He's bouncing back already. Real talented guy. He's just multitasking. Doing the service of creating the league for us is not easy. You sacrifice game time. You have to do it, and then also with elites, he tried to really instill some competitiveness. I get it. It's hard.
Absolutely, and not only that, but I will move on. Will TBD and RDF ever split?
So I think there may be a point where TBD doesn't exist anymore as a name. But as far as splitting goes, from the beginning of talking with RDF, we've been on the same page so much, including if this don't work out, we'll walk away, shake hands, be friends, hug, and everything will be good. From before day one, we said that. Every step we take has been in unison, and we've been enjoying each other more and more. Those guys are a really unique group. I mean, I've never played with a group like that. They are something special. So, I mean, everyone sees them perform, knowing that they're like a unit like that. So as far as splitting with them, I'm not going to make that choice willingly. It will be something that's, it would have to be something drastic for that to happen. Otherwise, we're pretty unified in our mission, our goal, and what we're trying to do. I don't see us going anywhere.
Hey, man, and plus it's hard to get rid of that money, man. That rich, dope family, they got those funds. You got to it's hard to get off that teat.
I know. I just say yes, sir, and that's it, and keep marching.
Yes, sir, no problem. All right, moving on. Who is that man, Eska bro, you keep talking about? P.S. Maker's Dre.
So, you got... So you guys have been talking about Escabro for a while. It started off with like not knowing, right? Not knowing exactly. But
I didn't know it was Eskimo Bear. I thought it was Eskimo Bro, which made more sense than Eskimo Bear.
But maybe it was 5 nights ago, maybe a week ago. I was playing late night, like 2, 3 a.m. And sure enough, an Escabro shows up in the thing, and he's not the same level either. He's like a level 12 or 20, and then our Eskimo is like 40 something. He's deep experience, and so I'm like, who is this guy? And then sure enough, the voices of Eskimo, and he just happened to be on vacation traveling. He started a new profile and he repped the Eskimo. So that was a shout out to you right there.
Hey, my man. Hey, let me get you on the Dasher series. That's amazing. I think I might cry, bro. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Eskimo. I was like, wait a minute, does he mean Eskimo Bear, bro, or Eskimo? Anyways, that's dope. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right, moving on. How do you think you will be beaten? Like, what is the way that you're going to lose your crown? Tell us. Predict this for us. What's your downfall?
Complacency.
Okay.
Cruising, chilling. We've been doing that the last whatever weeks. We were trying to kick ourselves back into gear. That kind of thing is what will cause us to lose. Honestly, other than that, I think our motivation, our will, everything is at the top of the league. Forget skills and strategy and all that. It's just our motivation is top. Until I see others, match that level of motivation, which I see. I see UNNC stepping it. I see all these people really giving it some effort. So we can't be complacent. I think that's the only thing.
I think as long as you guys stay on top of the game, always keep it grimy, which means, we're all friends and everything, but when it comes to competition, get to the business and keep innovating, you're going to be on top the whole time. Because now that the elite's gone, I don't have a team. I'm going to be pulling for you guys now, man, because I'm a whore like that, and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon of the champions, unless it's the Lakers, which they could go fuck themselves. I'm a Clipper fan. But what I'm saying is, yeah, now TBD is my top team. I mean, yeah, you guys got to keep it grimy, dude. Don't let me down, man.
No, we won't. We'll make sure you rock some merch too with our logo on it. You know, you got your dash. We'll get the little TBD logo next to it too.
Hey,
you know?
I can't wait till you guys submit your real one, man. I got a placeholder. Notorious TBD, but I can't wait till you guys get me the legit one, and it's gonna be beautiful. Let's see the next.
I appreciate.
Go ahead.
No, I appreciate it. I was going to say Dark Moon is our graphic design guy, you know, RDF, one of the RDF fam, and he's making it and taking his time. I told him, don't rush it, man. Make it beautiful. So we got something coming for you.
Plus, after all this drama that happened and everything, this is why I wanted to release just a couple of pieces, and that's it. But everybody, anyways, but now we got teams losing, teams dropping out, coming in. It's like, I don't know. The people have ordered stuff, and it changed already. Like, the logo that they ordered is already discontinued.
I mean, you know how this goes. Like, one day is 1 month, you know?
Hey.
One day, and that's crazy.
For reals, huh? That's crazy. All right, here we go. Why did you name yourself Makers? P.S. Not you, Dre. This is for Makers. Well, my name is Dre Day. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Makers. Why'd you name yourself Makers?
You know, it's one V asked me this question. He laughed when I answered. My buddy was a bartender, and I used to drink Maker's Mark a lot. And so when I would walk in, he would point at me, Makers, you know, like that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. But that's not really the thing that I felt like, oh, let me pick that as my name. Is it kind of encompassed a lot of the other things. I like making stuff. You're talking about 3D printing with Jax. I got 3D printers. I used to, you know, I do welding. I build race cars. I make all kinds of stuff, you know. And then also, you know, I like to make things happen. I've always been an entrepreneur and hustled, ran businesses, and help other people launch things and do things and take initiative and pull triggers and all that stuff. So it kind of fit. I felt like it fit my personality, so went with it.
Dude, I could totally relate 1,000%. Because let me tell you why. I hate talk. I hate flake. I hate all that. Let's talk about it, yeah, but get to it, get done. If I come up with a plan, execute. If I come up with a goal, achieve it. If I come up with an idea, try to execute it. That's amazing, bro. I could respect that 1,000%. And no wonder me and you always crack jokes and get along, bro. I gotta have you back on, but the Super Audio Show, so we could get into your other endeavors past hyperdash, man. For sure.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I love that for sure, man. Like I'm saying, like I mean, it hits home, dude. What you just said right now, like that's amazing, dude. I love that. All right, but let's get to this. I'll talk to you later offline. What would you like to see in the future of Dash League VR ML?
You know, we were talking about it. You know, Dre, your views right now trump VRML view. You got the big D right now. So it's one of these like, I'd like to see them blow up. I'd like to see this blow up. I'd like to see anything blow up. You know, where there's sponsors, money, be haptic with their vest and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I would buy that if it was available today. You know, like I would just buy it to buy it. I think that's cool as hell. So I want to see, you know, more money come into the league, and esport on the other side of the world of the old style gaming is huge. People making all kinds of money, you know. So we're in the infancy, the earliest, the foundation of what I think is going to be gaming in the future. All these other games are pretty lame, you know, after playing hyperdash. So it's one of those, once the world figures this out, you know, they're going to toss that 2D screen stuff to the side, and it's all going to be VR, you know. So we're at the foundation.
No, absolutely. And like you said, like all the other, even devices, like I still play Xbox kind of because I can play it on my phone now and it streams and all that stuff, but we won't get into that. But the Oculus, first of all, I tell people is don't buy a Switch. It's cool and fun and everybody got it, but buy a Quest if you could buy it. And then get this game. And because it's nothing you've ever seen. Like I tell people all the time when I'm doing the matches, you do Call of Duty and that looks cool. But this is the same thing or even better, but these people are moving around physically, so it's more physical and more, you know, endurance and more of a sport than your Call of Duty or your League of Legends or whatever you're gonna, you know, your Fortnite, because you're dancing, but you're not dancing for reals. If you dance in hyperdash, you gotta move your arms, you gotta get down, so you think you can dash. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. You work up a sweat, you get tired, you get muscle soreness, you get all that kinds of stuff. So yeah, man, it's a different world, completely different world.
I personally though, I just want to see Dash League blow up. I want to see us go all the way, seasons to happen, and I hope even though the VRML happens, that's cool. But I like to keep this thing going because this community is kind of a pirate ship, and it's kind of it's kind of like what I mean. It's you got to have competition. You can't just have one entity. So I'm hoping that this doesn't die on the vine. What do you think?
No, man. I mean, like I was just saying. I mean, right now your views trump like what's going on right now. It's not. It wouldn't take much to get sponsors to look at what we're doing, which
Exactly.
they kind of already are. And when you look at VRML, I mean, fantastic that another organization wants to get involved. Yeah, that's great. But I mean, in actuality, the money we're putting up in these little tournaments that Sage and Lumi are putting up, that Fat and Gas we put, I mean, this is real money, and when you're talking about a whole league season where I think it was like $500 to $1,000 of prizes is what they give to the winners. I mean, that's a whole season. And then you're talking about like the top three maybe get the prizes, and then that's only like $1,000 worth of stuff, so that's like a vest and like some other shenanigans, and then that's it. So it's really not like the holy grail of, all right, Dash League is irrelevant. It's all about the big money. There is no big money. It's like we could make that big money at this league, pretty quick with just, the right people talking to the right place, other people. So I don't know. I think both. But as of now, It's hard to say.
Absolutely. You got to have both because you got to be able to but the thing about competition is I never see competition as a bad thing because it just helps you get to the next level. Like Dash League, when it came out, they set the bar for other tournaments to try to achieve. And we've even seen tournaments fold. We've seen servers go out of business. We've seen them quit. And that's because once you see what other people are doing and the level they're doing, it just either you try to get there or you, I guess, die because you don't want to stay in the background, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, exactly.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but what he created was amazing, dude, and he set the bar. And even when they came out with the draft and the tournament, I thought that was amazing. That set a new level of to achieve. Like if you're gonna have your tournament, you're gonna have a draft, you gotta try to like produce some sort of like, production. But what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, it was about LAT and it was about this league. We have control over this right now. Like right now, LAT is open-minded. We got the captains discussing things. We got, we're able to shape and do what we want. So to toss the keys to like a organization where it's like pretty confined. There's a place for that, yeah, but there's also a big place for what we're doing here and trying all the different things. We're not kid. I mean, fine, there's kids in the group too, but we got a whole bunch of adults. It wasn't like this when I gamed back in the day. We were like just kids messing around, hoping some adult puts together something. And now we're the ones putting it together. So we don't have to. We'll do it all. That's something.
Bro,
I'm excited.
Everything I do is because like somebody like didn't want to show me how to do it, so I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. So that's how everything came about, and that's how we're doing so well. But we're going to get there, bro. Don't worry. There's WCW, and then you got the NWO. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Moving on to the next question. Who we got? What's the first game you ever played, and what's the first you played competitively? I think he could have worded that better, but you know what he means.
Yeah. So I grew up with, like, Atari and the original Nintendo, the Game Boy Black and White, like all this original stuff. So first game I ever played, I can't even remember. First game I remember really liking was the original Final Fantasy. Like I was like played it with my dad, and like it was one of those like going to dungeons, and I was like getting worried about dying, and I don't know. So there was like old stuff back in the day I remember, but it was in '95. There was a game called Sniper. It was the first game that attempted to put online people together, like a lot, not like 4, but like hundreds, to play together. This is the days of dial-up internet, like before 56K. I mean, wow. This is old stuff. You're talking about '95. So I helped beta test that game, and it wasn't even a game to start out with. All it was beta testing was how many people can you get onto one, client, one server, and have it so the latency isn't so bad. It was just an experiment, and the game was a very simple thing. It reminds me of Hyperdash, actually, not from like how it's played, but the fact that it's a very competitive, simple game where, it's a skill thing that differentiates. It's not like you just play a lot and buy a weapon and just gain experience and you're just better from time. It's more of everyone's got the same thing. there was a league that came out, actually multiple leagues. It went from pro, amateur, and Euro League. And the pro league, I mean, it got extremely competitive. It was a 4-on-4 scenario. In that thing, you only have 3 lives per slot, for the 4-on-4. So it got extremely competitive. The strategies got really fleshed out. We got, we would have hundreds and hundreds of people spectating. My team, I wasn't the leader of the team. I was young at the time. We dominated. We won out the gate. To this day, you can go on Steam, and the game's called Continuum. Subspace was the other name of it, but you could download the game and see our name in the top left corner of the map to this day, 20-something years later.
Wow.
And we dominated season after season from the inception of the league. The first kind of like here, we won, and we just kept on winning.
We dominated, kind of like here.
I wasn't the leader, but it was a similar feel. It was like a group of guys that were just intense, and on the same page. And, we hit the hammer hard and kept going and didn't get complacent. And that's it. I mean, it was years. We won that for years. So I walked away from that with us at top. We literally just disbanded at the top. We never were really contested. And honestly, that was the last. I played a little Team Fortress Classic, Counter-Strike, that kind of stuff. And it was the same group of guys. Literally, our clan leader is actually a wealthy guy, which is kind of similar to what the joke is around here with our team. We had a guy who would send
you talking about the Richtow family?
Yeah, man. Literally, we had 3-4 guys who would meet up at his house and with a high-speed internet back when we had dial-ups.
Makers just confirmed that the Richtow family is actual Richtow. Go ahead, continue.
I didn't confirm nothing, but. But it was it's really uncanny, and it was another thing where it was a small community. Everyone was cool and chill. It was something growing. So that was really my highlight game experience. Was that game and that group of people. And actually, that clan name was One, WONE. There's a guy named Detox Trickster, Crazy Monk, like a bunch of these guys. I don't know if they will ever see this video or ever come across this stuff, but a shout out to those guys. It's been 20-something years. I hope you're all doing all right. But man. Those were memories, really good memories, and we're kind of doing the same thing right now. So it's a big flashback.
That's dope, man. Yeah, that's amazing. And the first game that I played that had 50 on 50 was Battlefield 2. That was an amazing experience on Xbox. But that's cool that you were doing it way back in the old days, man. Even before like Second Life or any of that stuff.
Yep.
When did you start hustling?
So, I think I mentioned in somewhere in some form in Discord, I left my house at early age, at 16. I had a really good family, that well off, like they did fine. It wasn't like one of those like, man, I have a terrible household. I got to escape. It was more of I felt like I grew up a little bit more, and I did have a demanding household. So I walked out, what a lot of kids do. I'm out of here. Father's like, you're going to be coming back. You need me and this and that. Well, I'm pretty stubborn and just never went back. I got lucky and got into an internship for software programming. I was like the first high school pilot program to get like a Microsoft certification. So I wasn't like a complete rebel. I used that to make money at that age to survive, but I was surfing couches. I was crashing on floors. I was, I was still going to high school. I went to college too. I paid for it myself. So it's one of those like, I had to grow up in that era, and actually my gaming died at that point. I talked about Subspace and Counter-Strike. It died the minute I left my house. I couldn't deal with that stuff. I had and so gaming to me, that was it. I kind of got into like illegal street racing and obviously when you're out of your house, you run with a lot of different kinds of people that are kind of the same thing, so it's like I walked with a lot of different kinds of people, and I'm blessed for that because it's been so helpful in so many ways down the road, and I've experienced quite a bit.
Maybe got into our logo, maybe a little bit. Never mind. Moving on. Were you in Vertigo ever like a cool duo? Were you in Vertigo ever like a cool duo? Let me say that correctly. Sorry. We have so many questions. We're not gonna get through all of them, but go ahead.
So Vertigo I've known from high school, and so when I left my house and like was out doing my thing and got into street racing and hooking up cars, he had a nice car that he was hooking up to. He wasn't as rebellious as I was. He had, pretty solid household and all that stuff. But, he was a competitive dude, like really athletic. I also played football in high school, so I was athletic too. So we had some common ground. He, being into the cars, all that stuff. But obviously when I left home and I didn't have so much time for high school friends, it was more of just like, I was just out, surviving. So we ended up linking back up later on, and ended up that he still loved racing, and I went from street racing to real racing, and we ended up linking up in different kinds of endurance racing. And actually I got a trophy here from just me and him. This is the first place from just last year. Yeah, and this was just me and Vertigo, and it was me and him. We destroyed some really good teams, some pro drivers too. And so Vertigo was actually the clutch driver of that thing. The whole idea about only having us two is we could be ultimate strategy. I didn't have to manage 5 people and everyone drive equally. It was like me and you, bro, all the way. He ended up driving more than me just because of the way the strategy planned out, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without like a soldier that went out there and like he was done. Like it took him days to recover from this. I mean, that was what did I say? 8-hour endurance race amongst 2 people.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. And
that's
actually,
amazing,
what's
bro.
holding my phone up right now was our trophy from a 14-hour enduro when it was me, Vertigo, and 2 other drivers. So, it's for me after video gaming, racing, and other competition, all that, like that filled the void. And to me, it was like games is done. My hands, I don't have my button pressing, my thumbs, it's done. And then the VR thing, this is the first time I've gamed since back when I was young because I have, some shotguns and stuff, and, you can move in real life, you move your hand. So to me, it wasn't like I had to learn how to move joysticks. It was like, man, this is like real life. Like I'm good. I can just point things, and change everything. And so this is really the first gaming I've gone into.
You hear that, everybody? That's his edge. He races. Shout out to Husky also that he gets down on those, those drones, drone racing. He does that ish. Yeah. That shit. Go ahead.
All right, let me tell you a story. So me and Vertigo also duoed drone racing.
What?
Me and Vertigo went to national championships the first year of drone racing. I was good friends with the guy who organized the races in Northern Virginia and Maryland and all that stuff. And that was something we're intense people. So we got into it super hardcore for like a year, which was the first year of drone racing. And then we kind of got out of it after that because real racing kind of took over more. We did real racing before that, but this was like, oh man, this is new, high tech, cool. Got into it hard and kind of got out of it. But we went to the top there in a short amount of time.
All right, let's see. I only have 8 more minutes with you, so let's get through these as quick as we can. Who are you? Who are some tough challenges for you earlier in your HD career?
Oh man, the challenges. I mean, UNNC, like elite, like getting the team together and trying to like go up against the juggernaut of 4D, HH, recruiting everybody and their mother. It was just like me and Eskimo. It was just like a couple of us. Then we got Quad, and then we ended up getting Triple X, and then we got other soldiers that were just down to be the small team to take down the big dudes. And then RDF BAM obviously just joined, and it is game over after that. But I mean, the challenge is going up against everybody. That was the challenge.
Slowly tearing through them I call it the slow march to victory. That's what I like to call it, because you guys were persistent and anyways consistent. Have you always been a gamer?
Nah, I mean, like I said,
racing.
That's it. From that early on experience to now, no.
Do you discuss your HD addiction with your family or a partner, or is it a closet addiction? What are your responses?
So, after leaving the house a little early, I don't have the tightest relationship with my family. I do speak to them like Mother's Day, spoke to my mom, but I'm not like, hey, Mom, it's Tuesday. How you doing? Hey, Dad, So they don't know, I think, about HD or any of this stuff. So, and then I don't have a wife. So, ladies out there, you see me, I'm going up to the top, hit me up, find me.
Hey, so you might catch makers on my new skit that I'm trying to create. It's called A Dash of Love. You might see them on there. Let's check it out. Let's move on. Which player with what weapons combination is your least favorite to face?
Which
dasher and that weapon are you like, oh crap?
I mean, it's got to be like Mr. V and the revolver, you know, like when you get someone who can snipe on that kind of level. You know, there's a couple other good snipers. I'll just say the top snipers of the game are the ones I don't like going out there and playing with, because it's just one instant death type of thing, you know, from God knows who.
Oh yeah, Mr. V. Definitely gonna have him on here soon because I need to talk about his sniping skills. Before the pandemic, we already answered this question, but it's before the pandemic. What were your favorite hobbies? How did you spend your downtime? Racing, y'all. Like, pay attention. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody wants to know what you do when you're not playing because you're so dope when you do play. I think that's what it is. The question, same as above, but during the pandemic. Hyperdash doesn't count. What do you do for fun during the pandemic?
During the pandemic?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make money in the background, you know, like stock market, whatever, you know, my business on the side. Like, I'm just trying to survive in the background so I can continue playing hyperdash and having fun.
All right.
That's all I'm doing.
Maniac. I'm sorry. I wasn't saying names before this, but they want to know, how deep we going? What's great piece of advice you've been given?
Great piece of advice. What, for the game?
Yeah, in general, I think, like, what's piece of advice you'd give a young maker if you could?
Stay confident, believe in yourself. You know, just that, what you have in your head, just think it through and really be confident in that. Really, that's gotten me so far. Just confident in myself.
What's your absolute dream job?
I think kind of what I'm doing, man. Working for yourself, entrepreneur, being able to turn things on and off, hustle. If you're creative, you can, you know, explore that.
Dash League TV.
Yeah, Dash League TV, exactly. You know, do what you want. That is my dream, and I kind of living a dream right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having fun. Having a lot of fun.
It's the difficult times, but yeah, meeting you guys, just like meeting other groups, it's fun, man. I appreciate the internet and what it does for me. What is your favorite item you've bought in the last 2 years besides the Quest? Three more questions.
I mean, I want to be like a little more humble, but I bought a plane 2 years ago, and that was a dream. You know? And you know, small plane, small type stuff, but still. And shout out to my friend Jens, who was an instructor. He basically hooked it up. Like, you know, normally you go to a dealership, you pay money, you got to be some rich dude, you know. But no, I had friends who hooked it up. From, like, you know, mechanic to flying the plane to training me, not charging a dime, showing me the ropes, taking me up in the air, you know, all that kind of stuff. That was always a dream, and it just fell in my lap. So shout out to Jens, man. That dude put me on that and hooked it up hardcore.
What do you want to be remembered for, and what's a really nice thing someone has done for you?
Oof. There's so many people have done so many nice things. Anytime someone sacrifices something for you, you know, you got to respect that. And you know, when I left my house, I ended up gaining a lot of family through that. You know, that's not my blood. You know, your friends on, you know, that you meet, and the people who sacrifice for you become your family. And, you know, there's so many. I can't even list it. You know, I even feel I had a buddy who passed away not that long ago. I had incidents where you know, when you street race, you run from police sometimes, make bad mistakes, you know. And there was a scenario where I needed help, and I call him. He picks up, and without question, I was like, I need you to meet me here and pick me up ASAP. Gets out of his house, does his thing, gets in his car, runs out, you know, comes out like into he even calls me. He's like, man, there's a helicopter, but there's crazy stuff, you know, all that, you know. And I was like, don't matter, maybe like people who are down no matter what, that kind of stuff, you know, it's like, to me, you know, that's irreplaceable. So I've been blessed to have soldiers all around me, you know, and I kind of feel that with this game and the team we got. So that's what I value.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's something really nice has someone done for me is Triangle Factory for creating this game that led to me meeting these people, that led to me having this good time. And things I want to be remembered for is I don't want to be remembered for boomerangs or bacon. I want to be remembered for hating yellow map. All right, last question. Favorite way to eat a potato? And that one comes, I got to say it, from Orcolum.
So, I mean, there's the joke thing, which is, you know, whole. But
you're a whole potato guy.
I mean, you can sit on. No, I like fries. Fries, hash browns. You know, all that stuff. Mashed potatoes is good too, but any of the classic American stuff, which is like fried, you know, hash browns with some onions, salt and pepper, and some eggs and bacon. Man, I'm a breakfast dude.
Bacon and real
Right.
bacon. All right, and apparently, Maniac Gamer permission, we could have stopped their interview over. So after that one, it is perfect because it's 6 o'clock, bro. I gotta let you go, man. Thank you so much, Makers, for joining me, dude. You were awesome. If you ever want to do a part 2, I'm down. I just wanted to get this in because I promised you I was gonna do it, and we did it, man. Thank you so much. Any shout outs you want to give?
I mean, there's so many people, all the people in this game that make the game awesome. You know, Fat and 678, Chem, Chapo, my teammates. You know, Quad and 1V, Dark Moon, all the RDF guys. You know, Triple X, Eskimo Bear, who stuck by me from the beginning. You know, when we were nobodies. You know, all these guys. Lateralist for helping me build the team early on, tossing me players. Yep. You know, however you say his name, whatever it is, and so, dude, all these people, the community in general. That's why, you know, with these teams dissolving, you know, I hope everyone kind of gets together and make sure that everyone, you know, has a home and that we're still brothers. You know.
Hey, that's true, man. Shout outs to all the young cats who are chilling with us and are cool as F. And shout outs to all the old cats who still get down with us and are cool as F. And shout outs to Last for Dash League. Shout outs to Triangle Factory for Hyperdash. Shout outs to you for joining me. And shout outs to Dash League TV for bringing us the Dasher series. Tune in Tuesday for Dash Court. If you don't mind, I'm going to release this today. You got to get to a scrim. I got to get to a podcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you to Makers. And we'll do this again. Till next time. Peace.
Later.